I have had these two flagship USB DAC amps for a while. Now, even though these two are flagships, they are not in the same price bracket to be precise. This one is $170, $180, while the Questyle M18i is a proper flagship USB dongle with a price of $350. It's not cheap by any means of imagination, while the UA6 from Shanling is a more reasonable USB DAC amp. Now, the one thing that comes into everyone's mind is it worth the extra money, nearly double the money that you spend on UA6? Does the M18i really worth it? Now, it's not a very straightforward kind of answer, because M18i is not bad with the Bluetooth reception. It is not great with the built-in battery life, but the sound quality is somewhere the M18i excels. It just is something that I haven't heard from a USB DAC amp, to be precise. I have heard a handful of high quality USB DAC amps, RU7 and W2, that kind of stuff, but M18i is just simply outstanding. Now, there is a few other problems with the M18i. As you guys can see, this has no software support. Okay, M18i lacks any kind of software support, and another huge problem here is lack of filters. Okay, while with the UA6 we get a handful of filters, 5 to be precise, to which with which you can control the sharpness and thickness of the notes a bit. Okay, slow filter will obviously provide you with slightly smoother, slightly less attacking notes, while fast filters will offer you slightly dry sounding notes. So filters, even though doesn't have a huge impact on the sound quality, they definitely help you get a bit more out of the device, to be precise. And UA6 has a bigger display, bigger colorful display, and has a lot of software support. No doubts about that. Its software support is fantastic. You can use it to change nearly everything that is built into this device. You can, as I have already shown in the walk around video, it has everything: UAC, balance, brightness, screen saver, orientation, everything you can think of is built into this USB dongle. Now, another problem that I felt with the M18i is it doesn't turn off the display. You guys can see this display stays at this brightness, which is not great, to be precise. Okay, it does not turn off, and it eats into the battery life of the USB DAC amp, which is not great either. If you leave it on standby, it turns off in 10 15 minutes, if I'm not wrong, and powering it off and on is very easy. Operation of these two devices are very simple. Okay, what aids the M18i is the desktop mode and Bluetooth, but the Bluetooth sound quality, even though is fantastic, is not great, so I will not be including that. And the Bluetooth reception though is bad, so I'm not going to talk about the Bluetooth sound quality here, because I'm comparing it with the Shanling UA6, which does not have Bluetooth or anything similar to that. So let's get into the build quality first. This one has both of these have glass at the front and metal build quality. These keys are made out of metal too, so no issues there. So both have very good high quality metal build quality. These keys too are made out of metal, so fantastic, sturdy, no sound, no clicking or anything like that. What the M18i has in extra is a extra power input, and uh, the UA6 does not have anything like that. In any case, both have these buttons that you can use for volume and that kind of stuff. This one doesn't skip tracks in USB mode. Keep in mind that M18i does not skip tracks in USB mode, while this one can. This one can skip tracks. You will have to set it in the app or in the device to do that. Let's move on to sound quality. These two are flagship USB DAC amps. Okay, this one uses if I'm not wrong, CS43131, and this one uses ESS9219. If I'm not wrong, ESS, yes, 9219Q. So both are high quality when it comes to the DAC. Both have kind of similar amount of power too. This one does 361 MW in balanced mode, and they say this one can do 4.8 VRMS. So it does have better voltage output. This one can do 3.4 BRMS. So the voltage output of the UA6 is not high, while the Questyle has better voltage output. So if you have something that is very power hungry and needs a bit of voltage, then yes, M18i is the better option. But if you want a bit more power, this one is slightly louder. Okay, UA6 is slightly marginally louder, but M18i can deal with a more variety of IEMs and headphones. So there is barely any difference when it comes to loudness, but yes, as I said, UA6 is slightly more louder. Let's deep into the sound quality. Okay, the proper sound quality. Both are, as I said, are flagship USB dongles, but they have slightly different kind of tuning. Okay, M18i kind of prefers to have a bit more sub bass. Okay, bit more sub bass body, bit more sub bass rumble, while the UA6 likes to keep it flat, kind of flat. It's not like it is flat, but yeah, it likes to keep the sub bass under control, and mid bass is slightly more voluminous than the sub bass, the typical one. But with the M18i, the sub bass is slightly more dominant, while the mid bass is equally impressive. Slightly slower decay is what we get with the M18i, and it has very good texture and very good definition, while the UA6 can sound slightly dry if you are using the fast roll off filter. I have used the slow roll off filter, and it definitely brings in a bit more juiciness, yet it still is not comparable to the musical and juiciness of the M18i. This one has bigger area of impact, more air behind the notes, and the layer delivery and that kind of stuff are fantastic. Both have excellent dynamics. I have used this too with a flagship product, near flagship product, and a budget IEM, and the traits are very similar. This one has fantastic dynamics, while this one is not lacking with dynamics. This one does not have that kind of extra bit of texture and that kind of cohesion to it. Okay, this one can feel slightly dry, as I said. If we move on to the mid range, that is where these two DAC amps are more different than similar, because this one is a bit more V shaped. Okay, this one likes to keep the mid range, especially the vocals, in the less forward region. Okay, while this one is more balanced. M18i has better tonality, better timbre, better cohesion, and slightly better resolution. But the finishing region of the UA6 is more defined. Okay, the definition of the UA6 is slightly better because it has a bit of sharpness in the finishing region, which is offering slightly more sense of clarity. Okay, if you want that extra bit of sense of clarity, then you should definitely consider the UA6, because it kind of had that extra bit of finishing grip to it. Okay, it's more tractiony. Okay, both have no issues with sharpness or anything. There is no problem out there with both of this. But yes, if we move on to the treble region, that is where the US6 can feel slightly drier, slightly more tingly in the lower treble region. Okay, those cymbals and stuff, those percussion instruments can feel slightly more shouty, slightly thin, while the Questyle is just simply outstanding. Yes, let me make it clear that Questyle has better end-to-end extension. No questions about that. The end-to-end extension of Questyle is just simply outstanding. No need to think twice about that. While the UA6 is not lacking with extension or anything like that, it does not have the kind of excellence the M18i has. It has very good agility, very good clarity, very good air between instruments, and the layering and separation are fantastic. But M18i has slightly better depth. Okay, slightly better depth, and the separation of back and foreground instruments is slightly better with the M18i. So if you judge this two solely on sound quality, M18i wins. No doubts about that. It's a more flagship worthy product, while the US6 is a mid-range flagship product. If we start talking about the sound stage, both are very similar. Okay, that is where these two are more similar than different. Okay, US6 has a more taller stage near the head, while the M18i maintains that height across the stage, across the width, to be precise, that x-axis width. As I have already mentioned, M18i has better z-axis depth, while the US6 is good. It's not like it is bad or anything like that, but it does not have that kind of developed z-axis depth. So this is it. This is my comparison of Shanling UA6 and Questyle M18i. Both are fantastic. This one is half the price of M18i. So if you are looking for a high quality USB DAC amp, you can definitely go for the US6. But if you want the best sound quality possible, you should definitely go for the Questyle M18i. So this is it, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Enjoy.